How's your 2020 going? I know it's a little rough on some of you. Don't want to make light of it. Lately for me, it's been on an uptick. Things have been going pretty good. I can't really complain too much. I just want to point out, and I know I've been told recently I could be a little preachy. I don't mean to be. But look, life is 10% shit happens, 90% how you deal with it. Things are never going to stop happening. You know, we deem them to be positive or negative. A lot of things we think might be negative initially turn out to be some of the best things that could happen to us. So it's more about your own mindset. Which brings me to my Astro Van, which I love. I have an all-wheel drive 2004 Astro Van. They stopped making them in '05. Last 3 years of production, they're a little nicer, little upgrade. 16-inch wheels, 4-wheel disc brakes, that sort of thing. We call it the van that can. It's built on a truck chassis. The front control arms are off I think they're off a 1500. I think the rear end's like a Camaro rear end. The thing could do everything. It's a work vehicle. It's an adventure truck. It's an everyday driver. You could do it. I'm going to do a little lift kit to it and a real 4-wheel drive to it. There's a transfer case swap from an S10 4x4, direct swap, and a little shifter gets next to the seat. You got 4 locking high, 4 locking low. The all-wheel drive is not engaged all the time on this thing. It's always 2-wheel until the front wheel sensor feels them slipping, then it automatically goes into 4-wheel drive. So it's not terrible on gas. Compared to some modern cars, yeah, you can complain. Complaining is interesting. There's probably got to be a group on the internet for every vehicle ever made, right? And the Astro Van people are funny. Most of us love it. Some people get into it and they just complain about it all the time. I got to do this, I got to do that. Now this is gone, now that went. What the hell? Well, yeah. At best, it's a 15-year-old vehicle right now. Mine's a 16-year-old vehicle. Old vehicles need work. You have to accept that. Going into it. You got to replace your whole front end, period. You know, if you got a 15-year-old or older vehicle, if it hasn't been done already, you're going to need new idler arms. You're going to need new bushings in those control arms. You're going to need upper and lower ball joints. You might need to replace your axles like I did. That's going to happen. You got to do it. If you're mechanically inclined, it's important, right? Because you could save a lot of money. You could do your own brakes. Anybody could do their own disc brakes. Anybody. Anybody. Man, woman, doesn't matter. You could replace the pads on your disc brakes. So these things you can learn. And so I'm just saying, know that going into it. You know, it doesn't matter what vehicle it is, any older vehicle. But when it comes to selecting an older vehicle, you have to think about what you want it for. What's the purpose that this vehicle is going to provide for me? And select it appropriately. And try to find something that doesn't have any rust. I'm lucky I'm in Southern California. Most cars here don't have any rust. For a couple of reasons. Number one, it's kind of stupid to invest thousands of dollars in a rust bucket. Actually, I don't care how sentimental it is to you, belong to your granny, whatever. Waste of friggin' money. Two, if there's no rust, it's easier to work on for you and your mechanic. That's going to save time, which is going to save you money. Period. No argument there. Also, when it comes to mechanics, this is the hard one. It is hard to find a good mechanic, especially when it's close by. It's hard to find anybody with integrity. That's always been the case, though. It's not like just now, in this time period. No. There's always been jerk-offs out there. I got lucky. I found this guy, Irvin. Here it is, SNG, right here. And he's like a mile away. Good guy, young guy. He's got a family. He's got integrity. You know, he's doing good work. He's fair. He's not ripping anybody off. He's right here on Beverly in St. Andrew's Place at the Chevron station. So shout out to Irvin, man. Thank you. He hooked me up with a guy today. I'm having the front catalytic converter replaced as I speak to you. So I'm just saying, relax. Know what you're getting into. All right. These Astro Vans are pretty cool. It's a new thing. And look, if you could get one that's rust-free for $5,000 or less, personally, I think that's a good deal. I paid more than that, and I've put several $1,000s into it. I even had to replace my transmission, but I knew that going into it. I knew I was going to have to do these things, so none of it upsets me. I'm not upset by any of it, because in the end, I'll probably have 15 grand into this truck in about 3 or 4 years. I mean, I've had it for 2 years. So in a time span of 3 years, 4 years, once I do everything I want to do to it, it's going to be a new vehicle. It's going to be better than it was. I've actually improved upon a lot of the things I've done. That's a pretty good deal. Try pricing a 4-wheel drive van of that size. It's a nice size, especially if you're living in the city. And if you want to travel with it, it's easier to drive around, it's easier to park, it's better on gas than a lot of the larger ones. So I don't see how you could go wrong with that. It's not like it's a project on the side of the house. I'm driving it around every day. I take it in when it needs something, get it back the next day or two, done. I can fix it in the driveway myself. I replaced the axles myself, front wheel hub assembly myself, wiper motor thing myself. I mean, you could do a lot of this stuff yourself. So it's a good deal when you think about it. So anyhow, Astro Vanners, Astro Van Lifers, Astro Van Lovers. Yeah, it's a good thing. Enjoy that thing, man. Have a good day. And listen, don't let 2020 get you down, all right? We're going to get through all this. Everything's going to end up being fine. We'll all be better off. Think about what's happened with your time here. Now I'm getting preachy. You can do better things with your time.